Hello again everybody, it's Captain Firefox, and I got a special little video today. Today, I'm announcing something and asking for help at the same time. The first thing I'm announcing is, look behind me here, you should recognize those bottom ships over there from the Odyssey. And you should notice most of these ships from the Odyssey as well. Maybe not this green one, it just made a cameo. But, yeah. There's another project in the works in the Odyssey Universe. I'm not abandoning the seasons that I've got going now. I can't do them right now. So I've been planning a prequel, if you will, for the longest time. So I'm going to start working on that. I've already written the script for the first one. It's phenomenal, by the way. Thanks for asking. But I don't have the time or the skill level, to be honest, to make everything that I need for it. So I'm creating a contest for you guys, for the community, to build some of the ships that I need for this new project. Now, I'm going to be very vague about the project because I don't really want to give a lot away. I'll tell you right now, it's set before the Odyssey, and that's about all you're going to get out of me. I'm not going to tell you much about the format or anything like that. I want it to be a surprise when it comes out, and don't expect this to come out anytime soon. I'm going to spend a massive amount of time on this and make it as best as I can before I release it. I want it to be something special. I want it to be something that I can look back on and be like, I made this and it's badass. Which is why I'm not going to try to build anything for it. Now, I am going to use some of the ships that you see here. The DNC ships, the Scorpion, the frigate over here that I found floating around are definitely going to be used. This Mantis here, which I got off the workshop, definitely going to be used. It's from the very first... I don't know what happens with the windows there. Oh, they must have been modded windows or something. But anyways, or just a glitch because they're fixed now. Or not. Anyways, fucking space engineers. Anyways, this is from the very first episode of the Odyssey. It's the only time it made an appearance in the series. But I'm going to bring it back and use it heavily in this new rendition from the Odyssey Universe. This little dude here was used in a couple episodes as well as kind of an atmospheric drone. It'll probably make a return as well. Now, this up here, you've never seen this before from the outside. But if I come around here to the inside, you should recognize the parts of it that remain as the DNC throne room, which I played off as being inside one of the ships. But it was, this was it. Just a floating cube that I would do things inside of. I think it's on the outside. I didn't give two shits about what it looked like on the outside. But the inside was a major set piece in the first couple of seasons of the Odyssey. The reason this is here is because I'm going to need more things like this that don't suck. And I'll get to exactly what I need for this new project shortly. But I want to kind of give you a minute to screenshot this if you want to get the theme, the design style, the colors behind the DNC. So this is the DNC. They will be involved in this. So I'm going to need a couple more ships that I'll get to from this design. Okay, so you got that. You got a screenshot of it if you need it. All right. Now over here, this is the Earth Forces. I think it was the TBL at that point. Whatever. We're going to call it the Earth Forces because, frankly, I've changed the name of the government so many times I can't even keep up with all of them. But these are the ships that were used at the very beginning of the Odyssey. This one was actually one of the very first ships I ever built in Space Engineers. And it used to look a hell of a lot better with the old heavy armor when it was still camouflaged. Made this thing look really, really good. But now it's just kind of meh. So I don't really want to use this because it looks meh now. But it was sitting behind Kennedy Station in the very first episode. And then I think I made a cameo at another point around Kennedy Station. The fact being that this was supposed to be an older ship at the beginning of the Odyssey series. So I threw it in here to kind of give you an idea of the shape and style that I'm going for with the Earth Forces. Now again, this is before the Odyssey. This is back whenever Earth was just starting to hit the skies. Whatever, it was, without giving away the freaking storyline, it's very much before the Odyssey. Fans of the Odyssey already know what time period it's probably going to be. This, again, made a few appearances in the first couple seasons as a freighter. This will be returning again in the new project as a freighter. You can see kind of the design, the big nacelles, the big engine pods, the kind of blocky, semi-hidden bridge. Like, it's kind of the same thing up here. It's very hidden and blocky. Where the hell did it go? There it is, down here. That kind of thing. The engine, all these ships have the big engine cells on them. To a lesser extent, so do the DNC ships, but just little design cues from this are what I'm looking for. And again, the Liberty. This would be the most advanced ship from the Earth fleet. And it's the red ship. Everybody knows what the red ship is. That's all it is. I just threw on the word Liberty on it, and I think I upgraded a couple of weapons. But that's the Liberty. So this would be the next evolution of ships for the Earth fleet. This is not going to be in the series that I'm coming out with next. But again, you can, if you want to use it for inspiration for like an earlier version of this or something like that, that would be fantastic as well. And down here, I am going to use this again. It's kind of as a landing ship, troop transport, whatever. If someone comes up with a better version of this, I'll use it. If not, I will reuse this as well. It just kind of fits within the storyline, and it was used heavily in the Odyssey, so I'll probably bring it back. I don't have the mod loaded for the ramp right now, so that's why that's not there. And then I'm pretty sure I used this in the series. I stole this one off the workshop. I'd like to replace it with something from the community, but again, just the kind of the style of what I want to go to. If you remember this from the first season of the Odyssey, this is allegedly the fighter that the captain used before he was a captain. So, unfortunately, I've got to bring this thing back. It's fugly. But I will be bringing this back, or a version of this, something that looks very, very similar to this. And I'll probably tweak around with this one and make it work. Because, again, I used it in Season 1 and called it the ship that I got my rank in or whatever. So we're going to have to use this or a version of it again. But let me back up again so you can get a screenshot of the ships, if you will. Oh, I forgot about this little dude. Here's my little shuttle. He's a cute little dude. It worked well, so he'll probably come back as just something flying around the station or shipyards or whatever around Earth. But there we go. If you want to get an idea of kind of the ship designs again, you can screenshot this, whatever you want to do. Okay, so you've got the ships that I'm going to use in mind now. Now, here is what I'm going to need. I need on the Earth fleet, a big carrier. Think of it as the flagship. I'm only using a total of 3 mods / blueprints, whatever you want to call. RDAVs is a blueprint, but I consider it a mod. So RDAVs will be used, and I need it to be incorporated into your ship design, so I can just kind of plug and play, if you will. If you're not familiar with what RDAVs is, it comes as a blueprint, and as soon as it pastes in, come on, I'm in single player, you shouldn't be lagging like this. Okay, I guess it does have a ton of scripts on it. But through the beauty of editing, you didn't see how long that just took to paste in. Anyways, this is RDAV's, it's a blueprint, but it's really a bunch of scripts and mods and all that fun stuff. But it does crazy cool things. It basically allows me to remote control a fleet. So what you do is, you build your ship or whatever, then depending on which one you want to consider it, I think this is the fighter one over here, and interceptor. There's another, yeah, consider that your fighter. So your fighter would need this module in it. All you got to do is break off the little things that are holding it there, copy and paste this module onto your ship, and then build the ship around it. And you can read all the little things on the mod itself. There will be links to all of these things on my Steam page. It's just, that's where all the information is going to be about what I need the links to these things, all that fun stuff, will be on the Steam page, which is linked both in the description of this channel and on my YouTube page. So I'm going to need a ship, a flagship, which would probably have the central command on there, where you sit in a chair, and depending on however one you want to use, I use this one usually. So if you paste this in your ship, it basically allows me to control it by clicking that map. Makes life brilliant. But anyways, if you're building a frigate, you would use one of these. If you're building a carrier, you'd use this, and so on and so forth. If you don't want to put this in your ship designs, just leave a space where I can paste basically an antenna and 4 blocks behind it. So I can do that myself if you don't want to mess with that. The other mods that I'm using, and I'll paste them up on the screen right now, is the Colt Command Pack and the Letters mod. That's it. That is all the mods I want to use, because as you guys know, the problems I'm having with the Odyssey right now are all mod related. So I'm cutting out as many as I can. The Colt Command Pack is just beautiful. I'm not doing without that, and the Letters mod is basically a necessity for me in the Odyssey, because all my ships are named in the Odyssey, except for the bad guy ships. Screw those guys. So yeah, those are the mods that we can use. The Fleet Command, the RDAVs, which is really a blueprint / mod, the Letters mod, and the Colt Command Pack. So those are the only mods. All of the weapons will be vanilla. If you remember when the Odyssey started out, all there was vanilla weapons, and this is before that, so we're just using vanilla weapons. No shields, no big old cannons, nothing like that. So back to the ships I need. For the Earth Fleet, I need a carrier, flagship, giant. It should have large fighter bay doors, because my main character is a fighter pilot at this stage in life. So we'll need a hangar that can hold several ships, at least six fighters, somewhere of the size of these two, with a connector port to connect everything to. And I can design the fighters to have them below or behind ports. Either way is fine. So we've got the carrier flagship thingy that I need. You know what? Let's see if I have it saved here. Now, I should have pasted this in from the beginning. I just smooth forgot it. This is the Thunderchild. It doesn't have any of the weapons on it because we used modded weapons in the series for it. But this was, in the lore storyline, whatever you want to call it, this was the old ship of the line. But it's way too small for what I needed it to be. So if you wanted to use this as a template design and just throw vanilla weapons on it and make it a hell of a lot bigger, basically, that would be fine. If you don't want to use this at all, that's fine too. But yeah, love to have a version of the Thunderchild in this series again, because it was considered the main ship of the line. If you don't want to make a carrier out of this, you could make a frigate out of it. Basically, I'm going to have a whole carrier group is what I'm calling it. I want at least 5 ships. They could be one flagship, one big flagship, and then 4 of the same other ship. But I'm going to have roughly 5 ships total. I want the secondary ships to be, less than 5,000 blocks, just to keep the lag down when I'm recording. And then the flagship somewhere 10 to 15,000 blocks max. If you can figure out a way to do it with less blocks, even better. So that's the 2 major things. Well, it's 2 of the major things I need for the Earth Fleet: the flagship and escort carriers, cruisers or frigates, however you want to class them. Don't really care, but they should be gunboats, basically. Don't go crazy on the weapons, because that would make for really short battle sequences, and nobody wants that. I'm probably going to nerf the Scorpion over here, because it's got too many damn missile turrets on it, and it just wastes its targets. So anywho, yeah, carrier, frigates or cruisers, and then a space station. The precursor of the Kennedy station from the Odyssey, which is the one with the big curved arms leading out from it. So an earthbound station, an earthbound flagship, and earthbound cruisers or frigates as escort ships for the flagship. And I would color them probably red and white would be the color I'd go for, kind of colored red, white, and black, colored off the Liberty. That's how I would roll it if I was going to do it. All right, for the not UNSC, listen, for the DNC faction, I have all the ships that I'm going to use. I have these two large ships, and the fighters are all good. So I'm just going to fly with these. What I need for this faction is a city. A city on Mars, a large cityscape where I can have an aerial battle over it and also ground battles on it. I'm not looking for super high detail. I'm looking for something that's not going to slow down sim speed on a single player world overly much. So basically, I'm looking for hollow shells of a city for this faction. It doesn't matter what color it is. I don't care. Go wild on that. It should be on a Martian world, landscape, whatever you want to call it. So go wild with that. So like a city, buildings and stuff. This is back at the time when Mars was just being colonized, so it's not going to be something overly metropolitan. It should be more like outpost and factory and industrial looking is what's in my mind. So for these guys, the big thing we need is a city and also another space station. Again, it should be industrial. Mars at this time was basically being used for its raw materials, so some kind of refining station in space where they basically took the ore from the planet to the station and then transported it back to Earth from that station, where these freighters would meet up. So that's the station I need. It shouldn't be flipping huge or anything. But 10, 15,000 blocks, 20,000, something like that for the station, and then the city. I couldn't even tell you how many blocks that's going to take. But if you could make it one grid, that'd be great. So I could just repaste it after I screw up filming. So, all right, now on top of the ships that I need for the Earth faction, I need rooms, kind of like the DNC throne room was. I need rooms. I'm going to need like a kitchen area. When I say kitchen, it's more like a lounge area. Think of like the meeting room, the Star Trek: The Next Generation, with the big viewports and everything, and bars and tables where everybody's sitting and hung out. And you need one of those, kind of like a mess hall, if you will. If you need to use one of there's mods out there that have kitchen appliances and furniture and stuff like that out there. That's fine. Just know that I have to have the character sit somewhere. So you're going to have to put like seats that work in there at some point. And if you do use a mod, keep it down to like one decoration mod, something like that. Don't go ape shit with mods. That's not what we're looking for. Because as soon as Keen updates the game, it'll probably break that mod and I'll have purple crap everywhere and I can't continue. So if you have to use a mod for decorations for kitchen and dining areas, that's fine. Just keep it very minimal. On top of the lounge area, I need a classroom, like an academy thing. Hold a dozen students, if you will, in like a podium area. That's what I'm looking for there. And depending on the ship that I use, I'll need a hangar area too. So the 3 rooms I'm looking for the Earth size are a lounge, cafeteria, bar, kitchen area, a classroom setting, and a hangar area where I can take shots of it from the inside. It doesn't have to be attached to a ship, just kind of a detailed hangar where we can cut the interior shots of a hangar, and then from whatever flagship I choose, I can have them coming out of there. So a hangar, a classroom, and an eating area. Those are the big things I need over there. And some sort of command and control room for the DNC. Think dark, reds and blacks, stuff like that for the DNC room. So now I realize I've just put a crap ton of information out there. It will all be on the Steam page for the community, where you can go and look and also post your designs to there. I'll look at all the suggestions you guys have, all the ship designs you put in there, and depending on the amount that I get, we'll either have a vote, a Twitter poll, a Survey Monkey thing on Discord, or I'll just choose if there's not something that just, if I only get one, I'll just use that. You know how it goes. But we'll come up with a way to win. The winners, you will have your name at the opening credits of the new project. You'll get all the credit in the world for it, and you might even get a voice acting role. I've got a lot of extras that I'm going to need for this stuff, so you can definitely become part of the new Odyssey project if you're able to create a ship that wins. So again, go to the Steam page, check it out. There'll be links in the description and on my YouTube page. Click on the Steam group. There'll be a Odyssey project contest will be the new page for it, and all the details of what I'm looking for, the mods that I'm going to be using, and some of these ship designs for you to look at will all be posted there, along with more detailed instructions about what I'm looking for. So the deadline for this is going to be the 15th of June 2018. So June 15th, 2018 is 2 weeks from the time I'm recording this will be the deadline. So get the building, post your creations to the workshop, and then onto that Steam page. And I would love, love, love it if we're able to make this thing 100% out of the Captain's Corner community creations. That I would love that, guys. I would love to be able to get rid of everything from the workshop and just use things from our community. It would mean a lot to me. I know it would mean a lot to you guys, and hopefully we'll be able to spit out a really polished product, and it'll be something that we can all be proud of. So thanks for watching this, guys. Get to build and load up your creative world. Have fun with this. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone.